I need you to forget everything you've been told about productivity. Forget the complex Notion templates that cost a fortune and take you a week to set up. Forget the perfectly color-coded Google calendars that schedule every minute of your day. And forget the 2-hour morning rituals that have you journaling, meditating, and ice bathing before you've even had a coffee. These things look great on Instagram, but for most of us, they just simply don't work. They're rigid, they're fragile, and they become just another chore on your to-do list. It's a form of self-sabotage disguised as self-improvement. The real goal isn't to become a productivity robot, it's to produce high-quality work consistently without sacrificing your sanity or your life to do it. In this video, I'm going to share the simple, flexible system I use to run a 6-figure creative freelancing business. It's not about doing more, it's about focusing on what actually matters. The core of my entire system is a simple daily structure I call the 1+3 mission. Every day I have one major mission. This is my big creative project. It could be editing a complex client video, building a website, designing a marketing funnel, or coming up with new creative concepts. This one task gets the majority of my best energy and focus. Then I have up to 3 smaller secondary tasks. These are the admin things: answering important emails, preparing a proposal, taking a client meeting, or even some other smaller creative tasks that just take a few minutes or don't require a lot of focus. And that's it. My goal for the day is not to clear a list of 20 items. It's to accomplish my one major mission and handle a few necessary admin tasks. The single principle is what gives my day clarity. It prevents me from getting lost in the chaos of being busy and ensures I'm always moving the big rocks forward. And of course, I totally understand there will be days where a client emergency blows this up. Days where you have to push through different projects at once because of tight deadlines or simply because you have too much to do for different clients. Totally get it. I totally understand that days will be looking different. What I am talking here is a principle that helps me dedicate my focus to produce high quality work and plan my priorities in a specific order. Now, having a plan is useless if your environment and your biology are working against you. So here are the non-negotiable rules I follow to protect my focus for the day. First, the smartphone goes to jail. I don't just put it on flight mode. I physically put it in another room, usually my bedroom, and only check it every few hours. Your phone is a dopamine slot machine designed to steal your attention. The only way to win is simply not to play. Unless you need it for a specific work task, it does not belong in the same room as you when you're trying to do important work. Second, and some people may not like this, but I cut out lunch entirely. I have a solid breakfast and I have a good dinner. That's it. For me, a heavy lunch is a guaranteed productivity killer. It leads to the classic afternoon food coma, drains my energy, and breaks my focus. By skipping it, I maintain a consistent high energy state throughout my entire workday. Third, I create a work environment I actually want to be in. You cannot do world-class creative work at a messy, cluttered table. I mean, clean your desk, invest in a good chair, and have good lights on. Put on some chill, lyric-free music or an ambient podcast to stimulate your brain without distracting it. Your physical environment has a direct impact on your mental environment as well. Treat it with respect. Furthermore, use noise-canceling headphones. They are a game changer. Now, let's talk about the actual execution of work. I use a principle I call the pressure principle. Before I start my day, I go through my tasks and assign a specific time frame to each task. For example, edit video, 90 minutes. Reply to emails, 30 minutes. Designing social media posts for a whole week, 60 minutes. This does two things. It forces you to be realistic about what you can achieve, and it creates a positive sense of pressure, a deadline in your mind that keeps you focused. If a task takes longer than assessed, you have a valuable piece of data. And then you can assess, what did it take longer? Where were you distracted? Did you underestimate the complexity. And this is how you get better. To maintain that intensity, you need to manage your energy. I'm a big believer in strategic stimulants like coffee, so caffeine, and yes, sometimes even nicotine gums to help you dive deep into a really intense focus session. The key here is to use them strategically, not as a crutch to get through the day. And I always balance that intensity with 2 or 3 very short 5-minute breaks throughout the day to just stand up, stretch, maybe have a very small snack, and then reset and get back to work again. And finally, the most important part, the bookend rituals. You need a clear start and a clear end to your workday. My getting to work ritual is very simple. Breakfast, stretching, and then I sit down at my clean desk and go through my tasks. My getting out of work ritual is just as important. It's usually going to the gym or meeting up with friends. These rituals act as my psychological triggers. They tell my brain, now it's time to focus, and now the work is done. It prevents the workday from bleeding into my personal life, which is the fastest path to burnout. And that's the whole system. The 1+3 mission for clarity, a set of rules to protect your focus, and simple rituals to bookend your day. It's flexible, it's realistic, and it's built for creative work, not for factory work, of course. So stop trying to force yourself into someone else's complicated system. Build your own around these simple, powerful principles. And I want you to try one thing this week. What is the one rule from this video that you are going to implement immediately? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll get back to your focus again.